Good morning, everyone. This is Karl F. Rose, recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania, on Monday, July 29th, 2019. And let's talk about the Detroit Lions and the training camp. I, for one, am really excited. I firmly believe that the Lions have turned the corner, and this year you're going to see the culture change actually take place. It started last year, but it took a while, and unfortunately, Coach Patricia and Quinn had to go over some unnecessary road bumps. But what my question to you is, and please be sure to, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel here on this podcast, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and be sure to leave your comments. But my question to you today is, do you think that the Lions will have the best defensive line in the NFL this year? Now, I think they have the potential for it. It's too early to say. We won't know until the season starts, obviously. My view is this: 3 games into the season, and this is what the Lions must do. They must start out at the gate 3-0, and we will know. I'm not sure what teams they play, but this is critical. 3-0. What I'm looking at here is this line. What Matt Patricia has put together is far better. It's looking like it anyway. Again, we won't know until the season starts. But the Sue Fairley line, yes, that was a good line. This line is not only good, but it's deep. They're going to be able to contribute and do the work in the system that Matt Patricia wants. They're going to be versatile. They're going to be able to adjust to every team week after week. The players are going to rotate in and out, play a 3-4, 4-3, nickel, you name it. They're going to be capable of it. Plus, Darius Slay has a chip on his shoulder, and even Diggs. He said that he wasn't concerned about the comments about some of these mainstream networks saying that the Lions will be 3-13. I know they've got instructions from their coach, which is a good thing. But Diggs was up there and says, "Well, look, I'm just out there to do my job. I can't pay attention to that. Well, give me a break. If I was a player out there, I would pay attention to it, and I'd be pretty upset." And you could just see the look on his face, on Diggs' face. So he doesn't like the 3-13 comment. And Slay's, he wants to prove that he's more money. So with the line working the way it is, and that's just going to help the back end. And for me, this 3-13 is just not going to happen. I'm not going to make a actual prediction on what the Lions are going to be, but I'm saying I'm thinking the minimal that they should do is 8-8. I am going to be doing standard videos on my regular channel after the preseason, and then I'll make my prediction for the season. We will know. Game 4 of the preseason is always a dress rehearsal for the following season. And last year, the Game 4 that they had, I was in the preseason. I said it was miserable, and it was. And I said that we're going to have to see what happens. And guess what? They ended up 6-10. And I don't see a repeat of that. I don't see them going down. I see them improving. Now, I'm going to do a follow-up video, and we're going to talk about mainly the offensive line, but that's for a following video. So stay tuned. Click on my cards at the end of this, and check all my other stuff in the playlist. But we'll go into that. But this is, I just want to talk about the defense line. There's no way. I've been screaming about this for years, and they finally did it. And Bob Quinn, when he first came to the Lions, he said that everything starts in the trenches. And with the defensive-minded head coach, that's where they're at right now. They've got a defensive line that is like a brick wall, and teams will not be able to run against the Lions. They're going to get very few yards. Plus, their recent additions, I don't want to go through all the names, but it looks like they're also, now they're working on, with some of their recent additions, it looks like their pass rush is going to be there. And plus, now they can fit into the scheme with where they can do stunts, and the linemen can look like they're going in, come back, have a linebacker blitz, bam, sack. You start what they're getting at is they're going to rattle Stafford, and I will say this over and over again. Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFC North. I mean, it's going on a stretch. I mean, Rodgers is Rodgers, but I think we're seeing Rodgers in the twilight of his career. And now, once I get into my video on the offensive line, we'll get into more of that later. But Matthew Stafford's still pretty young, and he's had miserable lines. If Matthew Stafford had the offensive lines like some of the other teams have, who knows? It's hard to say. I'm not going to say that Matthew Stafford, because with the Darrell Bevel system, he's not going to be throwing for 5,000 yards. That's just not going to be the way it happens. The Lions are also not going to be a full-blown grinded-out team. However, they are going to run the ball more. They're and what Darrell Bevel, it appears, and we won't know this until the preseason, but we're going to see a more balanced offense, a more where there's clock management. You got to keep Aaron Rodgers on the bench, and that's how do you think the other teams are beating the Lions? The Lions are going 3 and out. Stafford's been on the bench, and when he comes in, he's rattled, and he's trying to come back from a huge deficit. And sure, he's throwing interceptions and fumbling and getting smacked around. You're gonna be a 3-13 team like that. Well, I think those days are over, and it's gonna be really nice to see the development as training camp goes along. And I really can't wait till preseason. I've never been this excited about preseason. But because, well, first of all, the first 3 games of the preseason, we will see what their backups, how far, because they need a contingency plan. Football's a hard sport. People get injured. It's part of the game. It happens to every single team. And the problem the Lions have had year in and year out is they don't have the depth. So when their starter goes out, they've got some Joe Blow in there who can't do anything, and the next thing you know, they're losing 5 or 6 games in a row. What we're seeing now is more depth on the team, more quality depth, not just depth. Every team has depth, but you need quality depth, and you need to keep it within the cap salary. This is what the Lions are doing. This is what they have never done before. And we're going to see a different team. And stay tuned for my standard video in the next day or two when I start talking about the offensive line. But before I go, I do want to say one thing. They have one glaring thing, and they need to see what's happening. And we won't know that until more in the training camp and when preseason starts. But the only contingency they don't have is for a backup for Matthew Stafford, and that is still bugging me. That's our problem. If Matthew Stafford goes down, regardless of what their defensive line does, if Stafford goes down, the whole team goes down. That's unacceptable. So I'm not sure how these other backup quarterbacks are, but I know they got rid of Connor Cook, so he must have been terrible. I think it's Savage, the other guy. We need to see how he is. But they need a strong backup who can, and the event, because, you know, if Matthew Stafford has to take a leave because of personal reasons due to his wife, they need someone who can step up and say, look, I'm the backup, but we're running the team and we're going to win the game. They need somebody who can step up, take the reins, drive the team down, and get the W's. And that's what it's about. And the Lions are finally there. So with that, I'm going to sign off and stay tuned. Again, be sure to, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and stay tuned for my next video that will be on my main channel when I talk and discuss about the offensive line. Stay tuned for that, because we've got more coming. I see good things coming for the Lions, and this is a really exciting year. 2019 is going to be a good year for us. Again, I won't say what the record will be, too early to tell, but I'm excited. Well, anyway, have a good day.